everyone, I'm Ellie and I recently purchased this 2007 Toyota Hiace which I've called Arcadia to self-convert for van life. It is raining at the moment, so hopefully it's not too noisy, but it's definitely freezing, so I have a hot water bottle. The van has spent the past 11 days at the dealership waiting on repairs, so while the inside renovation has come to a standstill, I've been doing lots of online shopping, picking up things that I'll need for the conversion, and I want to take you through what I've purchased and why I've gone with those particular brands. I'm Ellie Wilder and you're watching Wilder in Motion. Back to when it all began, when I first inspected the van, and the main thing that I noticed that needed rectifying was the door seals were missing, and the dealer assured me that those would be fixed. Then when I came to buy the van, 2 of the 3 missing seals were in, but 1 was still missing, and they told me it was just on its way. The dealer advised me that I should take it away, get a post-purchase inspection, bring it back, they can fit the seal and address anything else identified in that inspection. So I did just that. I took it away, I took it to a mechanic, they did a post-purchase inspection on it and identified a number of little things that needed doing. I took it back to the dealer and they pretty much made excuses as to why they couldn't do about 50% of them. So a little frustratingly, they've been giving me the runaround saying that they're waiting for the parts to arrive, it should be done in a couple of days, when in actual fact they hadn't ordered the parts at all yet. So I've spent the past 11 days at a standstill, and meanwhile the other repairs that need addressing, such as the coolant and transmission fluid, need changing. They won't address those. Obviously I don't want the dealer to lose money, but part of the reason that I went with the dealer in the first place is so that I could have that recourse if something was wrong with it, and the fact that they advised me to do that post-purchase inspection and assured me that they would fix things identified also gave me peace of mind in my purchase as well. So I really want to get back to work on the van, that's why I decided to pick it up today. And I've given them until the end of the month to track down the second-hand parts. Otherwise I've asked them to pay for the parts from Toyota, and I've also provided a list of things that I think they should repair and others that I'm willing to let go. So hopefully this all gets solved very, very soon. But as I said, in the meantime, I've been doing some online shopping and I've had lots of things arrive in the last 11 days. So let me show you what I bought and why. So the first thing I want to talk about is my fridge, and I've gone with a Glacio 2-in-1 fridge freezer. And my first reason for choosing this is that it has the separate freezer compartment rather than those ones that are a full fridge and then just a little freezer box for ice. This way I can make more than just ice. I can also freeze food in here. I have drink bottles if I'm going on hikes and stuff like that. So there's a 20-litre freezer compartment. And then the fridge itself is at the bottom here. I've got a drawer, some shelves, and then of course everything that's in the door there, and that is the remaining 45 litres, and it's got a lock on the bottom as well, which also goes up there, and that means that when I'm driving it's not going to fly open. The next reason that I went with this one was it is a 50-watt fridge, which means that it is compatible with my solar system. Glacio does have a lot of other fridges in varying sizes, and the bigger ones go up to 72 watts, which would have meant I would have needed a bigger solar system, more on that later, as well as a bigger battery to power it. So this is also 12 volts, so it's going to work perfectly with my solar system. The third reason I went with this one is that it's front opening. I definitely didn't want a chest fridge because I didn't want to be pulling out of a drawer and then opening it, and I didn't want all my food stacked on top of each other. This way I can separate it, and I could add more shelves, and that shelf is also removable too, so I get a lot of options with this one. And the final reason I went with this fridge is the price. It was less than $500. When I was shopping around, there were fridges as much as $1,500 for a similar size, and there was certainly a lot around that $1,000 mark. So I didn't want to spend quite that much, but I did want to get all those other factors, and this had the best of everything that I was after. Onto ventilation, and to no one's surprise, I got the Maxxfan for the exact same reason that everyone else got it, which is that you can use it in the rain. And it's pretty essential where I'm going because I'll be traveling north in the wet season. So in case you haven't seen one of these things before, how it works is you cut a hole in the roof, then this bottom section here has a fan in it, and the air comes in and out through the vent here. So if any rain or anything is going to be falling on the top there. And the fan compartment is under here. So it's a really nice big fan, and in general this thing is huge. Look at me and look at it. This is way bigger than I thought it would be. It's pretty much, the box was the same size as the box for the fridge. It also has a fly screen in it, which is very handy for Australia, and I got the fancy one that comes with the remote because it wasn't that much more expensive than the manual opening one. This just adds a little bit of luxury to the van. It is a pretty expensive van. This was almost as much as the fridge. It was around the $450 mark, but everyone has great reviews of this, and certainly this is the only one that I could find that you can use in the rain. And when you're inside the van, you're in this sealed box. At night, you're not really going to be able to have like doors or windows open, so you definitely want to be getting some ventilation through there if it's a tropical storm or even when it's just really humid. This way I can have it running all night. Sorry the mic cut out here, but I'll just explain what I'm talking about. This is my mattress. It's an IKEA MOSHULT mattress. They have a surprisingly extensive range of foam and latex mattresses, which is what I was after since I'm going to be cutting it. This is a queen size, but I'll also be making it narrower so that it fits my space. So pretty much what I did was just go to IKEA and lie on all their foam mattresses and pick the one that was the most comfortable, and that happened to be this one. So I'm going to let the mattress expand fully for a few days and then give it a test actually sleeping on it, because you can exchange IKEA mattresses. So I want to test that out before I go in and cut it up. And the final thing I'll be talking about today is what I purchased for my solar setup. Now there's lots of different options for this. You can try and buy all of the items individually yourself. You can pay a company to do everything for you. You can buy an all-in-one battery bank that you just plug straight into, or you can do what I've done and buy a solar kit that comes with the parts and you just put it together or expand it yourself. So I went with this company Renogy, and I bought their 200 watt premium kit with the MPPT charge controller. So this is the charge controller here. Then it also came with all of these cables that join together somehow that I will work out. Lots of other little things as well. It came with this Bluetooth add-on. That means that I can check the battery from my phone as well. And the solar panels obviously aren't here right now, they're downstairs. And then these are the brackets for the two 200 watt solar panels that came as part of the kit. And for adding to this kit, I also got a DC to DC battery charger, which I'm going to connect so that the car battery charges the leisure battery while I'm driving as well. So if I have like a cloudy day or something like that, it's not too much of a big deal. You can also add an inverter to this kit, and I was originally thinking of doing that. The inverters that Renogy had only went up to 230 volts, the one that I was looking at, and the appliance that I'm trying to power, which is my laptop, the charger is strictly 240 volt input. So that was kind of annoying, and I didn't really want to spend pretty much the same amount that the entire solar kit cost me again just on the inverter just to charge my laptop. So because my laptop is so power hungry, it has caused me a few issues, but I finally figured out a workaround, which is the 12 volts coming out of the battery, then plugging in a mini inverter to that steps up to 240 volts, 150 watts, then plugging in a new laptop charger that I'll specially order that then steps it down to 19.5 volts, 130 watts, which is what the laptop needs. Now obviously this is very power inefficient, inverting twice, but because it needs 130 watts, a standard car charger will only draw 90 watts, and I'll try and charge it outside the van as much as possible. Now that I finally have the van back, I will be able to finish off the floor by next week, and then it's on to tackling the internal custom furniture that I'm going to be making. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want more content, then be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.